video, and I hope you all are doing well. And in this video we are going to remake, or we are going to renovate our old program, that is our calculator, which we have made earlier. In that calculator we have made like a menu driven program where you have to select like press 1 for addition, press 2 for subtraction, and like that. But this video we are going to make that calculator on another level, and we are going to use tkinter, so it is like comfortable with user interface. Like user will don't have to choose one for addition, and that it will be looking like real calculator, right? So I'm going to use tkinter, so I'm not going to explain much about tkinter, but I am going to explain much about everything what comes new when we program, right? So let's start and dive into our program. So as a little bit homework, I have made my small window, because if I have started you know this I have highlighted the most hardest thing, like you have to make whole window. That's why the main window, basically not whole window, this small window, right? So in this much of a calculator will be, right? First of all, what I have planned is the for on the top side we will have our input field, right? And below that we would have all our buttons. So let's start it, right? So I just created a simple window, and I will give the code in my description, so you can go there and download it. But I won't suggest you to do that. You can download it for a reference, right? But don't copy that code. So let's start it. As I have told you that first of all we will make our input field. So I will say in field, right, is equal to frame. Frame will be in a window, and I will configure it, like I will configure it, but I won't show you. So let me into second. So yeah, I'm back, and I have made my frame, first frame, where I will put my input widget over there, right? But here is something new for you, that is highlighted background color, highlighted color, and highlighted thickness, right? So let's run and see what's that. So here you can see that we haven't used anything like new thing. What new thing? Like that is, we don't have used our that old one, like reach, grew, or relief. We were saying that relief is equal to grew, rigid, not that, right? We have used something new over here. If we increase the thickness, as usual it will increase the border of it, right? So as we have made our first frame, now we have to add into it our the main part, that is our input field into it, right? I will say input field is equal to, as usual, entry, and I will meet back in 2 seconds for like making configuration, and meet back in 2 seconds. So yes, I'm back over here, and you can see that I have made our input field, our entry widget over here, that is in field, which we have made a frame over here. We have fit our field, our entry widget, into that frame, right? I have said font is equal to 8, 12, 18, and bold, right? I will say text variable is equal to, let me see. Okay, so one more thing to say, that we have to make one more variable that is called as input text. In that we'll say str. So like we have done in our student management system, same thing we are going to do it over here, but I don't going to use like database, but somewhat things are we are going to use over here. String 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 where, right? So we have made a variable having string where, right? So we are going to use it over here. Text variable is equal to input text, which we have used in our student management system also, right? So width is equal to 50, and background is equal to he, means like I don't know which color it is. I think so it's like white color only. Let us run and see which color it is. So I'm typing over here. Oh, Okay, so justify, right? So we can write from over here, and as I said that hashtag e means white color only. So let me just say white is like no simple thing here. Keep it simple. With I should have 40. And if I will say anything numbers over here, I with I know that width is equal to like it's very big, so I have to decrease that, right? So okay, I will set my width is equal to 23, right? It was so much big that it doesn't fit in our small window, right? Like you can see it's pretty simple. We can use these two, but like let's use something new. We have to like add something every day. We have to add something new into our projects, right? So what I've decided that we are going to use iPad, right? So for that we will say input field field dot pack. Then I will say iPad equal to 10. Okay, sorry 10. Done, but it input 5. I know I have done a small mistake. I FILD file instead of field. It's field only, right? Oh yeah, something kind of it's a variable. Like we can name our variable anything. So please don't laugh on my spellings. So done. And even if we do here 40, right, as it was in starting, it will be like much simple for us. So here you can see that our cases also has been increased, our height is increased, right? So we have multiple merits, right? We have like we have more merits and demerits for using iPad. If you don't use iPad, it's okay, it's upon you how you design your TK. For just for now I have used it because it is looking cool, right? And it has many merits too. Everything is right, but I think that its background should be at last we will add some color palettes to it, but just now let's make it done. So our input field has been done, right? Over here you can see our input field has been done. Now it's time to add our buttons over here, right? So I will make a new field over here, just give me 2 seconds. Okay, done. So I am back over here. I've created a buttons frame, btns frames, in our window, like in our main window tk, and our main window win, but we have made that window using tk, so I have called tk. Width 31 to height 27 2.5, background is good black, and we have just packed it, right? We don't want up down anything, we want just black. Okay, black, sorry, black, done. So I will run it. So you can see our button frame has been done, or like input frame is also working, right? So everything is going fine till now. Let's see in future what happens. So we have created a button frames, right? So now we have to add our buttons into our frame, right? That's why we have made our frame. So which buttons will come? First of all, our clear button will come. CL button or clear, we will simply say clear button, plus for addition, minus sign for subtraction, multiplication sign for multiplication, division sign for division, and is equal to for our execution of the expression, right? And the last one is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So this much buttons we have to make, so that much we have to like code for each and every buttons. So let's start for that too. So yes, we are back, and I have made first button, that is clear, as I have mentioned, CLC or simply CLEAR, right? So in that we have I have just configured many things new, somewhat old, somewhat you also know, right? Like column span, pad x, pad y, everything you know, right? Column row, right? So what I've done is I've texted in CLER clear, foreground is equal to black, right, black, width is equal to 32, height is equal to 3, border is equal to 0, background is again like we'll say, okay, we have just set now background up here, Oh, it's foreground. Let's say white. Yeah, white. Right. Done. So color is equal to hand to cursor is equal to hand to OK, and command is equal to lambda bt clear. So we have to create a new function up here that's named same as bt clear. We'll say bt just cause clear. Just we'll make them and just pass it. Done. Sorry, I have to say def. Done. So everything is fine till now. Okay, so it's command command lambda bt clear. Done. Function bt clear. But in that we haven't made anything, so we have just passed it over there. So let's run it. Here you can see. Okay, so you know why we have cursor is equal to hand to. That means when we take our like hand into it, our cursor into that field or that region, then you can see that our cursor is changing its character, right? Or it's like it's a hand, right? Showing a finger and thumb, like it's a usual thing. Now we have to place every buttons. We have placed clear button over here, but it's too small. So what I want is we'll we'll add the same thing. Let us first of all create hold our project, and then we will work on the front end, like means our looking like how to make our project creative, right? So we'll look at the last for that. Let's make first of all the whole project. Let's add all the button, and at the last we'll do that, right? So let me uh, give me 2 seconds. I will add all the buttons like this only, copying these for 0 1 2 3, and I have to make function for every buttons, not for every buttons. I will explain you, right? So just give me 2 seconds. Okay guys, so I'm back, and you can see here that I've created this much things, and I know what you are thinking, that yes, just keep everything, and this is not a perfect tutorial. But like I've just done many things, right? I will explain you. Let's go and explain it. So okay, let me explain you how it works, right? So as I've told you before, also let me just make some space that you can see. Okay, so as I first of all said you that I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to make all the buttons, right? But I've just created in the same way, right? Let me explain you. Here we have make our first button, that is clear, right? After that we have made a divide button, that both are in a one line, right? Like first of clear, and then after that it's our division button, right? So it's simple. bts frame text is equal to, like backslash symbol of our division, and front ground is equal to black width and height 3. The main thing for this is our command, that is button click, which I have just made over here. Just let me show you. That is over here, left button click, and I have passed item into it. Item can be anything, it depends on which button we click. If we click 7, it will go item is equal to 7. If we press division, it will go item is equal to backslash, and it will work like that, right? So like you can't keep any different sign for this, right? Because backslash is for division only, right? So we can't use for like addition and subtraction. So please don't change the mathematical operators, right? So everything is same only. Here I have just passed 7 8 9 and start. But what I have done is I have done to decrease lines. What I have done, I have just took all our, like placements, grid pack, all into one line, dot, like I would say dot grid, and carry on at the last. Over here you can see it, right? We can do it. If we want to do, we will press enter, and we have to say again that multiply dot grid these. We don't want to complicate our program, right? So we are just minimizing, and we are just like we are making our program more simple. We are not making it complicated. That's what I mean. So I have just created all these buttons. I have left some space in between. There's a reason. If you notice, I have first of all made two buttons, clear and divide. Let me run it and show you, so you will get better explanation. Here it is. First of all is clear and divide. So here you can see clear and divide are in first two, right? So it's in a line. Then it's 7, 8, 9 and multiply. So it's 7, 8, 9 and multiply our star, right? So it's in our second line. And then if we go further, it's like 4, 5, 6 and minus. It's 4, 5, 6 and minus in third line. It's basically third line. Yeah, it's first, second and third line. And the last line is our 0, 2, 3. It means like 1, 2, 3 and plus 1, 2, 3 and plus. That's our last second line. And the last line is 0 points and is equal to 0 decimal point and is equal to, right? So here point means float, like float, it's used for float decimals. So we have created our whole tkinter window. Now we have to add function into it. So where we have said pass, there we have to work, right? And that I'm going to explain you fully, right? So you can see if we say anything over here, we can't enter into our this text field, right? So we'll work on it then. Let's dive into it again. So before starting, I will make one more variable named as x. Okay, we it's like more as expression, but I will just use exp and just empty, right? We don't have to keep anything into it, but we will take this in use over here in all our def functions, right? So let's start. Here we'll say global exp, right? Done. Then we'll say exp is equal to exp dot str items item it. Okay, sorry, you don't have to code this over here, you have to code this thing over here, right? Keep it pass. I'm sorry for that. Like over here we have to done. It's a global exp, because we have to global to use in our def function, right? And then we'll say exp is equal to exp plus str, that will say it item. Done. Here comes the most valuable line, that is input text, right? That is our this variable over here. You can see string var, which ultimately we have used in our input field, right? Our entry widget. So we'll say set dot set, we'll say exp, right? Dot set exp. So we have completed our one thing, that if we press any button, it will ultimately add everything into that. We'll say 9, you can see 9 has been added. If we'll say 5 has been added. If we'll say divide has been added. If we say clear, it won't work, because we haven't worked here. You can see we haven't worked on our clear part, pt clear part. We have just passed it, so it won't work. This button won't work for just now, but every other buttons will work. As you can see, if I press anything, is equal to will also not work, because pt equal is also not done yet. So let's work upon that two functions, right? So again, for clear, we'll say global global x, right? Then what we have to do is it's simple. As we have we have added exp, like it's empty plus str item, right? And then we have passed this whole thing into here exp. The same way we will say exp is equal to empty, because we don't want anything into it, right? And then we will input dot text set exp, or you can simply say nothing into it, right? Now we will run it and see. Okay, so I have run it. If I'll say it and say clear, so everything which we have clicked over here and which it has been inputted in our entry field has been cleared. As you can see, I will type anything in say clear, it will be cleared over here, right? So ultimately we have finished our second thing, and the last and the most important thing that we have to work upon is our equal to sign. And in this equal to sign, if we say equal to, then it should uh, execute all the things that we have said. Means if we say 1 plus 2, and it has to execute 1 plus 2 and give our output over there, clearing the uh, all the things which we have inputted, right? So let's start it and learn it how to. So yes, again we have to say global, as I said earlier that we are going to use this exp variable in all of these three things, right? So we'll say global exp done. I will set this, right? Input exp is equal to empty, right? And then I will say input put text dot set, and here we'll say result, and we are going to make this variable now, and this will be the ultimate hard blood or anything you want to say. This code of line or this line of code will be the most important line of this whole project. So I will type it. I will say result as result as we have used over here. So we have to name result only. You can you can use any other name for your variables as you wish, right? Don't just copy the variables also. Result is equal to int, then we will say evaluate, eval means evaluate in our tkinter, and then we will say exp. It's pretty simple, right? We'll say exp done. The most valuable line of this code is done, and at last I will just say exp is equal to empty. So I think everything is done, and I hope it goes fine. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, I will say 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 is 6, we know. If we will say is equal to, let's see if it comes 3 or not. Let's go. Oh, yeah, 9 minus 3 is 6, sorry, and it is absolutely correct. Clear is also working, right? Oh, here you can see I am using my mouse only. Again I will say 7 plus 3. As we know, 7 plus 3 is 10. Let's see what our program says to us. It's 10, right? I'm not doing anything. I'm just using my mouse to use this calculator, as simple as that. So here you can see that user can simply use this calculator. He or she don't have to choose that press 1 for this and press 2. This is ultimately, I loved this program because here I learned many things, like how to set our input text, how to clear this, as how to make this clear, is equal to how to evaluate all the expression in one line. Here it's awesome. That's why I love this Python programming. In this one line we have evaluated all the expression which we entered into it, right? So let me close this program. Again I will test for the last time. 20 plus 5 plus 6, it gives, let's see, 20 plus 5, 25 plus 6, 21, 30, 31. Okay, it's 31 now. 6 plus 5, 11, and 20 20 plus 11, it's 31. It's 31. Okay, again we'll say 50. Okay, let me clear it. 50 plus 50 minus 100, so it should give us as 0 answer. Okay, our program is ready and we can use it as we want it. But guys, there's somewhat mistakes in it. In our, as I told you, we'll work on the front end at the last, right? So we are going to make this program look beautiful using a color palette. So I will meet back in 2 seconds. So guys, I have added a color palette. I know it is looking very attractive. Let me run 10 show you. And yes, I haven't explained it because I've just changed the colors, nothing else I've done into it. So here it's how looking now, how it is looking now, right? So it's looking way better and way far from the earlier ones. So here you can see I haven't done anything. 20 plus 60 plus 90 plus 3 is equal to 173 as usual. 80 plus 20 is equal to 100. Like it's working, and it's very helpful for a programmer to use it, right? when they have to like calculate something, they can use it too. So if you like this video, like, share and subscribe. And this calculator is looking awesome, yaar. Okay, bye.